playing at home to kind of re-energize the bats after having their struggles at Hoover?
I hope it does. You know, the comforts of home, I think, are very important. You know, we played well here. You know, no question, I think our guys prefer being here than somewhere else. So hope that'll make a difference. But, you know, it's baseball. We may go out and get 18 hits and not pitch. It is baseball. Things happen. So it's the beauty of this game. And there's no clock. At least there's no clock that determines the end.
Coach, you talked about being concerned about Bucknell, and this is the time of year where you see just odd matchups. You play teams you've probably never played before or in a long time, and we've always seen a lot of upsets in these regionals and super regionals. Is that on your mind and on your players' minds, just about, you know, expecting the unexpected?
Well, I don't think we go into it that way. I think we go into it trying to be aggressive and positive and doing the things that we do. That being said, from a coaching standpoint, I believe it was 2 years ago, I was at Bucknell, who beat Florida State in Tallahassee to open the tournament. So history, you have to think about those things a little bit, and you want to make sure you keep your team in the best possible position to win.
Skipper, is that with that question? What does your role change this time of year? Are you quicker to make decisions, strategy? Does the wheels turn faster for you this time of year?
I think so, just because of sense of urgency. There is no tomorrow. You can't go back and say next week we'll take this a different approach. There won't be a next week. So I think that you try to have to make decisions immediately and live with them.
Were you disappointed, surprised, a little bit of both, that you didn't get a top 8 seed?
Maybe somewhat disappointed because we won 21 games in our league. We won 21 games against top 50. We were the #1 RPI team conference in the country. That being said, we didn't win a game in the tournament, and our RPI wasn't quite as high as Georgia Tech's, I don't think. And if my information is correct, it was between us and Georgia Tech. So I respect the decision that was made. That doesn't change my disappointment. You know, had we won a couple of games, would we have been hosting? You know, would we have been a national? I don't know. But even being a conversation is pretty good. But I don't know exactly all the criteria that went into it.
And how important is it, do you think, to get a top 8 seed?
Well, I think that it would be important if you can win a regional. You know, it's I don't know. I know that the numbers in baseball lean toward the teams that host. The percentages are great. I understand that, but you know, if you win a regional, if you're fortunate enough to win a regional, you're playing pretty well, and I think you feel pretty good about whatever happens next. And certainly getting out of this regional is not going to be an easy task. You know, with Bucknell, like I said, they've taken on the big boys before, and they've beaten them. And Virginia Tech, with their power arm, Citadel is really good out front. They've won a dozen in a row. They got a lot of things going for them. They're the top stolen base team in this regional. So we're just going to try to play the best we can. Fortunate enough to win, and see what happens.
Did you think there was a chance you were kind of scouting by watching the ACC tournament? I guess a few of those teams were kind of in consideration to be here, including Virginia Tech.
You know, it was just a guess on my part, but I thought we were either getting, you know, the Hokies, the Wolfpack, or the Tar Heels. I sort of said one of those three are coming. I didn't think they would send Clemson because we played 3 times. I thought maybe that we would get one of those other 3 teams, and I'm sure it was probably in a conversation somewhere.
Did that get you kind of, like you said, started on Virginia Tech a little bit?
Well, not so much. I watched the games, but you know, I didn't
know more about them now than you did then, right?
Well, I do. I did just because I was able to see their guys a little bit, the bullpen and the whole deal. At least I was able to watch them. But they've got tape on us too, so you know, our games are on television.
Right, looking at the Citadel, I mean, you guys have played them twice, but you didn't see their top and front line pitchers. I mean, is that any kind of concern, or do you have to do a little bit of extra scouting on those guys?
Well, my answer to that would be they didn't see our guys either. So you know, it's sort of even from that standpoint. That being said, Wojciechowski and talent, those guys are outstanding. And Coach Jordan and I talk. We played each other twice, but we correspond during the season. We chatted up a little bit, and he tells me about his guys. I tell him about our guys, and those 2 guys have been phenomenal for him. They've done a great job. There's a good chance that Asher will be a first-round draft pick. You know, he threw 117 pitches on Wednesday, came back on Sunday. I gave him 8 innings again, and you know, the young man was determined to pitch. He was going to pitch. That you probably read the story down that way. He was going to take the ball. I'd be impressed with that.
Are you pleased with the way your team responded during these two-a-days?
I thought our practices were good. You know, honestly, I wasn't good. I'm not trying to hide that. I wasn't good. I wasn't pleased with the fact that we were here practicing. But I also knew that we weren't playing. We needed to be practicing, and we went at it. We had really, 5 practices in 3 days, pretty good ones. I thought our intensity was good. I thought our players did a nice job, and I thought it was meaningful, especially the fact that we got rain late yesterday and we were forced indoors today. So it proves to be a little bit beneficial now, more so than I thought it would have been.
Do you kind of go back into the normal routine this week?
Yeah, we'll pull it back in and get them off the feet a little bit now and get excited about playing.